Alright, after the way Paul George started this game, I would have expected him to be the one that dropped the 50 ball, because he made 4 straight buckets in about 2 minutes, and all the Sixers did was spam a pin down for him on the right wing. Even though it was the exact same play every time, he at least scored differently each time, but that was about as good as his night got, and it definitely wasn't any better for the others, especially from deep. There were already glimpses of a drought in the first, then it got even worse once the Bucks started zoning up in a 2-3 in the second, because from that point onward, all they did was lay bricks, so the Bucks just basically stayed in it for the rest of the night. And I think the biggest issue was just them settling for those looks, instead of trying to put more pressure at the rim to get going off lays, or to even generate them off a paint touch spray. A lot of the times, they were just flashing middle, or setting screens up top to open lanes, and that usually work, because those can lead to quality shots. But without anything inside, they never established a rhythm, so nothing was going to change outside. Their looks were being generated the same way damn near every time, so they were basically just hoping they'd eventually get hot, and unfortunately, that didn't work, because their shooting never got better throughout. But fortunately, there were ways to make up for that, because first, the Bucks had turnover issues throughout, so they got to capitalize off those. Then second, they were able to at least get some timely second chance points off the constant O-board crashing. And then third, they have Tyrese, so he was able to provide consistent scoring. He was the only player that was able to get wherever he wanted, whether it was in the paint, mid-range, or behind the arc. And I think the most impressive part about this performance is just the way he was doing it, because he's usually coming off ball screens, but with the Bucks in his zone for the majority of the night, he wasn't getting many of those after the first, so he was just burning defenders with his ridiculous first step. That's a true testament to just how quick he really is, because the Bucks could not stay in front of him in the half court, especially when he was attacking closeouts on the catch, and he's always going to be a blur in transition, so they really had no chance of containing him at all. If anything, I think he could have taken even more shots than he did, because nobody else was going, but when he did see help, he did make the right pass, so none of his shots were forced, and all of his points were necessary to keep up with what the Bucks were doing on the other end. Their offense was a contrast compared to the Sixers, because even though they were also pulling from deep often, at least they were generating those looks off paint touches, and it was usually off a spray on a drive, or a kick out on a post dump. A lot of them were stemming off their screening actions, whether it was a pin down for their shooters, or their guards manipulating them with a rock in their hands, from a simple DHO or SNR to a double drag or a Spain, and a lot of that was Ryan Rollins, because as he's continued to show, he can basically make every read. Whenever he had an open lane, he was quick to exploit that space, and he was either attacking the Sixers bigs on a switch, or just capitalizing on the Sixers botching a coverage, especially in the guard-to-guard, because the Sixers weren't ever hedging or switching in those, so he was just living in the paint no matter what the action was. Naturally, it just became him versus Tyrese in the fourth, but unfortunately, he couldn't call game on a potential winner. Then in OT, the others on the Bucks somehow got cold, while the others on the Sixers somehow got hot, so fortunately for the Sixers, they went on to win, and it was the sequence of back-to-back whistles from Grimes that secured it. A crucial O-board just led to Grimes putting him up 5 at the line, and then it was just Maxey's turn to double down on that lead for a damn near double nickel. Just watch the tape.